Sonic Unleashed first came out in 2008 on PS3, Xbox 360, Wii, and PS2, but there is an interesting fact that there are two different versions of the game. They play entirely differently. Now, I want to start with a PS3 and 360 version, as that was the one that I actually stuck with before I ended up playing the Wii and PS2 version. Now, this one is developed by Sonic Team, and basically the story, well, I should say both versions have the same story, but with the levels and everything, just play completely different. So, here we go. Sonic was starting to stop Eggman from his evil plans, but fell for a trap and turned into a werehog. But that can only happen at night. So, the gameplay is fresh, it's fast-paced, got a boost. I know Boost had that in Sonic Advance, but this one was like the first 3D Sonic game to have such thing like that. So he's fast-paced, and throughout the levels, you're gonna have to try to find and collect some medallions. With the medallions, this will give you access to all the other levels. If you don't have a certain number of them, then oh well, you messed up. Anyways, what I should also say is that there's also a Warhog gameplay, which is much slower, but there's no time limit. It's more of a walk around and brawl 'em. So you can level up as well, kind of like similar to God of War, I want to say, just because you're spending points on things you're going to need to level up with. So that's kind of like a good comparison when it comes to the XP system. Also, there's a tornado section. Okay, let's be for real. It's the plane section what I'm talking about. And I'm not a big fan of that, let's just be honest right now. Which, I'm sure if you guys play that one, I'm sure you'll understand why. So, like I said, if you guys are going to want to collect some medallions, it just really depends of where those things are at. So you got to find them really hard. Sometimes you might even pass them without even realizing it, which is pretty bad. I don't know why this is the case, but it is what it is, I guess. Now, I'm starting to get some Star Fox Adventure vibes in this one because the planet has been separated into, like, sessions. Yeah, I say that because Star Fox did the same thing, except they did it first. So, you have to travel to different countries and complete levels and do stuff like that. And the hub world is, like, pretty much open, so you just walk around, talk to people, and find some levels to do whatever in some other areas like that. And so that's kind of like the big thing. And the music is trying to fit of what country it is, so that's kind of the thing you'll probably notice when you guys play the game. So there's bosses, there's like a bunch of bosses you can fight. There's the giant beasts that are in the night, there's Eggman's bosses again, which you'll find them pretty early in the game. They could tend to be easy, but it's whatever. So yeah, collect medallions and do whatever. And at nighttime, you can take pictures of these old ghosts because what happens is at night, I'm guessing some people gets possessed by something and it makes them feel like they're not even themselves. And let's be honest, they ain't themselves, and something's going on and something's fishy about this. So yeah. That's basically like the big focus. Like I said, Sonic is usually a fast-paced, but the Warhog is pretty slow. With the Warhog, you can actually carry a bunch of enemies. Well, you can carry actually like one enemy, and there's also like quick time event combos. I guess I don't know why they put that in there. You also grapple onto ledges and walk into like little platforms where you have to focus on your balancing, and that's pretty much it right there. So yeah, you have to keep finding these Chaos Emeralds in every place you go to and try to save the world from, you know, being taken over or destroyed. I don't even know what's going on anymore. Now let's go move on to the PS2 and Wii version, which is kind of like the one I enjoyed more playing. Mainly because the gameplay is just more fun on there. It's made by DIMS, the same ones who made the Sonic Advance series, Dragon Ball, and, you know, all that stuff. So the story is the same, but there are some numerous differences I've noticed. Gameplay department is quite similar, in which instead of collecting medallions in each level, the only way to collect medallions is by your ranking. So say if you get an S, and you get 3 of them, but if you get an A, you get like 2 of them. So technically, it's more like a race to like beat the time limit. So if you can get there faster than anything, then you should be able to collect some medallions. The tutorial ones are usually much more easiest ones because all they do is they separate into different levels. Makes no sense, but it's whatever. Also, the thing is, the open hub world is now just a menu screen. So technically, you're just clicking stuff and the people will be talking to you. Cutscenes are also compressed, for good reasons being, which I hope you'll understand that. Also, there's been a few things I've noticed that have been cut down from the game. Now, the tornado section, the plane section I was talking about earlier, well, that's been cut from the game, and I'm pretty happy about that one, because, again, I'm not a big fan of that one. Also, the first boss fight, cut from the game. I don't even know why. They show it, but you don't do anything. They just skip the next cutscene. But whatever. Also, the open hub world thing, well, like I said, it's now like a menu hub. I think it's much easier than the one from before that I was talking about when it came to PS3 and 360 version. Also, Sonic is fast still, and whatever. Some bosses are still the same as the original ones from the PS3 and 360, which is good. Sonic can still boost and everything, but playing the PS2 version, I think Sonic, when he hits enemies, it cuts a frame a bit, but on the Wii, I don't notice a single thing about it. The Warhog is essentially somewhat the same as before, except when you grapple, you have to hold the grapple button, and then you let go. I don't know why this is the case, but I will say the fighting in the game is much more fun than playing it on the 360 and PS3 version, which is something they got right. I think some of the level designs and everything have been quite altered. But like I said, it just feels like I'm playing a completely different game than anything else, but the story is still the same. And I just find collecting medallions on those versions are much more easier than playing the ones in the PS3 and 360 version, because sometimes you just easily miss one and you won't even realize it, which doesn't make any sense. So, getting medallions, you just gotta beat the time limit. Well, it's a record, really, but you still gotta try to beat it. So, keep getting those S ranks, and you should be able to process there easily. If you guys notice some stuff's been cut from the game on the PS2 and Wii version, that's probably because of, well, system limitations. I could probably guess, but whatever. But if you guys have it on the Wii, you guys can play with the Wii Classic controller, and I think you can use the GameCube controller as well. So, I don't care which one you get, PS2 or Wii version, but if you guys want more power than the Wii version, it is, but if you guys have a PS2, then go ahead. I mean, they both play the same, so it's not like it's gonna make any differences. But yeah. But everyone seems to prefer the PS2 and Wii version. I really just don't blame them for it. Maybe because I just had more fun playing that one than the one on PS3 and 360 version, which is something I genuinely just enjoy. Because just playing on the PS3 and 360 version, it just feels like I'm just lost at times. But while on the Wii and PS2 version, it just feels like it's more easy to navigate. Seriously, the navigation on the country worlds in the game are much more easier to find. I'm not making this up. It's just, I just find it more easier just to play anything. But again, whichever version you guys will probably get, I think you'll enjoy it. But if you guys want a 60 frames per second type of play on the Sonic game on 360 and PS3 version, well, getting Xbox Series X, there's actually a frame. They actually added in some frame rates, so you can play up to 60 frames per second now instead of the native 30, which is, well, it actually was added back in 2021 as part of the backwards compatibility update. So that's nice that the game got a frame boost. Sonic Generations got the same thing, which I'm sure was already enhanced to 60 frames anyways back then, but it's nice that it's got a nice frame rate boost for the system. So, whatever ones you guys decide to get, I just think the PS2 Wii version are more fun to play than anything. So, let me know what you guys think about the game. Did you guys enjoy it, or did you just wait for a different Sonic game because you just didn't like the concept?